Hi everybody, it's Michelle from your Emma Willard Kitchen. I hope everybody's doing well and welcome to my home. Today we're going to make macaroni and cheese. The macaroni and cheese I'm going to make for you today is a lot like the one at Emma Willard, just in a very small version. So while I wash my hands and get ready, we'll show you the recipe. Okay, let's get started. So I have a half a stick of butter in here that I've melted. And we're just gonna let that get nice and hot. And then we're gonna add our half a cup of flour. You wanna get that all incorporated. And you wanna cook this for a minute to get that flour flavor out of the roux. So we're just gonna let it bubble. Don't let it burn. And I have already cooked and cooled, drained my pasta. It was 1 pound of pasta. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we're gonna add a half a gallon of milk. And you're gonna whisk this immediately. You want that to all dissolve in there. Now my recipe is really simple. If you wanted to add different seasonings, dried mustard, any of those things, you can. This is a good day for it. It's been chilly out lately, so. Okay. So you're gonna let this get warm. You're going to put it on a medium heat. Make sure that roux is all dissolved in there. Make sure you're feeling the bottom of that pot. Okay? And when that gets warm, I have a pound of cheese here. I like to mix my cheese, but you can use any cheese you want. I like to do like half American, half cheddar. So I'm going to add my cheese. This is a pound, and you know, you can put a little more cheese in if you want. And then I save a little for the top. Oh, I do shred a little so that I can sprinkle it over the top. Okay, so I'm going to add my teaspoon of salt. And you're going to taste this at the end and make sure it's a little savory because you're going to add some bland macaroni to this. So. All right, so we're gonna slowly let this all melt, and it's gonna, when it starts to thicken, that's when we're gonna add our macaroni. Meantime, I preheated my oven to 375, and I'm gonna add my pound of macaroni. Got a full pot here. Okay. All right. So we're going to mix that in. You can see all the little bubbles, and that's it going inside the macaroni. Okay. Now, this looks loose, but this is going to tighten up. So this is the look you're looking for. It looks soupy, but okay. So I usually have enough here in my recipe to do one for dinner and a small one for the freezer so that we can pull it out at another time. So I'm just gonna put this in my baking dishes. And I have a glass Pyrex here, and I don't usually have to flour or butter or spray it or anything. It usually just comes right out. Put in a little water, it comes right out. So I'm going to fill my pans And then there's the one for the freezer. So I just usually will set this one aside and let it cool. And after it's cooled off all the way, I'll wrap and put it in the freezer and pop it out for lunch or whatever. Okay, so here's our macaroni and cheese. Now I like to sprinkle some Parmesan over the top. And we'll put on our parm. And then my extra shredded cheddar. A little bit of that on the top. Now, if your pan is any fuller than this, you're going to want to put a sheet pan under it when you bake it so that you don't make a mess out of your oven. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven, like I said, at 375. I'm going to check it in like 15-20 minutes. As long as the top is brown and bubbling, then we'll see you then. Okay. We'll see you back in a little while. So it's been about a half an hour to get it browned. So there it is. It looks delicious. So you're going to let this rest for about 10 minutes, and then you're ready to eat. And I just want to take a second and say thank you for coming to my home and let me share my recipe with you. And I hope everybody stays happy and healthy, and hopefully we'll see you soon.